What if I told you, one of the most high-value targets in the world vanished overnight, while the entire world was watching the wrong place? No warning. No invasion. No official announcement. Just darkness, silence, and then, he was gone. This wasn't a war. This was deception at its highest level. The night everything changed. In the dead of night, the city of Caracas went black. Streetlights flickered out. Communications collapsed. And within hours, Venezuela's president had disappeared. By 5 a.m., there was no trace of him. The world was confused. News outlets were focused on massive U.S. naval forces gathering in the Caribbean. Aircraft carriers, destroyers, and warships. It looked like a full-scale invasion was coming. But that was the illusion. Because while the world watched the sea, the real operation was already happening on the ground. Step 1: the setup. This mission didn't start that night. It began months earlier. The United States quietly built pressure around Venezuela. Warships surrounded the coastline under the justification of targeting narcotics networks. But behind that official story, intelligence agencies were tracking one man. Waiting. Watching. Looking for the perfect moment. A moment when the target would be isolated, predictable, and vulnerable. And then, they found it. Step 2: the strike begins. At exactly 2 a.m. local time. Everything started. High above the clouds, stealth fighter jets moved into position. These weren't ordinary aircraft. They were nearly invisible to radar. Within minutes, they began neutralizing key air defense systems, cutting holes in the country's protection. Missile systems, radar stations, communication nodes. One by one, they went dark. And just like that, the sky was no longer controlled by Venezuela. The deception. But here's where it gets interesting. While stealth jets quietly dismantled defenses, other aircraft created chaos elsewhere. Explosions were reported near major military bases. Airfields were hit. Communication networks collapsed. To anyone watching, it looked like the beginning of a massive airstrike campaign. But it wasn't. It was a distraction. The chaos wasn't the objective. It was the cover. Step 3: the infiltration. Under the cover of confusion and darkness, they moved in. Low-flying helicopters, barely visible, raced toward the capital. Flying below radar. Silent. Fast. Precise. Inside them were some of the most elite operators in the world. A unit trained for one purpose. Capture. Extract. Disappear. Witnesses later reported shadows in the sky, aircraft so low they seemed to touch rooftops. Within minutes, they reached their target. Step 4: the breach. The location? A heavily secured compound inside a major military zone. But this wasn't just any target. This was a place believed to be safe. Untouchable. Until it wasn't. The helicopters hovered briefly. Operators descended. And then, the breach. Flash grenades exploded. Doors were cut open. Guards were disoriented before they could react. Everything happened in seconds. No hesitation. No noise beyond controlled chaos. Because this mission had been rehearsed again, and again, and again. In fact, an exact replica of the compound had been built elsewhere. Every movement, every step, memorized. The inside advantage. But there was one more advantage. The kind that changes everything. An insider. Someone on the inside had already provided critical information. Layouts. Movements. Timing. So when the operators entered the building, they knew exactly where to go. No searching. No guessing. Just execution. The capture. Within moments, they reached the room. The target had no time to react. No time to escape. Surrounded. Disoriented. Captured. Along with him, his closest companion. No negotiations. No resistance that mattered. Just a swift, controlled detention. Step 5: extraction. And now came the most critical part. Getting out. Because time was limited. The longer they stayed, the higher the risk. Helicopters returned to the extraction point. Engines running. Rotors spinning. Operators moved fast, securing the target and lifting off within minutes. From the ground. It was over almost before it began. And before anyone could fully understand what had happened, they were already gone. Into the sky. Once airborne, they didn't stop. The aircraft moved out of Venezuelan airspace, fast. Refueling systems allowed them to extend their range. And soon, they reached a secure location far from danger. A floating base in international waters. Safe. Controlled. Untouchable. Why it worked. So how did this operation succeed? How did an entire country's defenses fail to stop it? The answer lies in technology and strategy. Modern air defenses are powerful. Missile systems. Radar networks. Surveillance drones. But they all rely on one thing. Detection. And if you can't detect your enemy, you can't stop them. The advantage of stealth. That's where advanced stealth aircraft come in. These jets are designed to avoid radar detection. They don't just fly fast. They fly unseen. Combined with advanced sensors and electronic warfare systems, they can disrupt defenses before anyone even realizes what's happening. While older aircraft would struggle in such an environment, stealth platforms thrive. They create opportunities, open pathways, and ensure that operations like this can happen. The bigger picture. This wasn't just a mission. It was a message. A demonstration of how modern warfare has changed. No longer about large invasions or visible force, but precision, speed, intelligence, and most importantly, deception. Because sometimes, the best way to win is to make your enemy look in the wrong direction. If you found this story interesting, make sure to subscribe for more deep dive videos like this. Because the truth behind modern operations is often stranger and more intense than fiction.